The words sports and controversy will go hand in hand in a lot of occasions, and today in this video, I'm going to cover 10 of the most controversial sports stars out today. Welcome back to Stars in Sports, let's get into the video. Alex Rodriguez was a one-of-a-kind talent when he broke into the big leagues. He could hit for average, had good speed and power, and was a decent fielder as well. What made Rodriguez controversial was not only his denial of using performance-enhancing drugs, but his full life of deceit as well. A-Rod got the nickname A-Fraud given him by teammates and Yankees clubhouse attendants who were not too keen on his diva clubhouse behavior. He even drew criticism from teammates for his inability to perform his postseason play. He also drew controversy from fans in MLB for opting out of his Yankee contract during Game 4 of the Red Sox title-clinching victory over the Colorado Rockies. He was also accused of many acts of infidelity that arose after his divorce from his wife and mother of his 2 children in 2008. The 162-game suspension for using performance-enhancing drugs was controversial in itself, but his acts of denial are what really landed him in the hood.
Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, loves it.
Number 9, Mike Tyson. It is hard to determine whether his behavior in the ring or out of the ring contributed more to Mike Tyson being a controversial figure. Outside the ring, Tyson spent 3 years in prison after being convicted of rape in a 1991 incident involving Desiree Washington, the reigning Miss Black Rhode Island. This event came shortly after one of the most shocking upsets of the Tyson era when Buster Douglas, a 42-1 long shot, defeated Tyson in February 1990. Following his stint in prison, Tyson returned to the ring to eventually meet up with Evander Holyfield for their first match in 1996. There were allegations of headbutts by Holyfield and Tyson's loss, which carried over to the rematch where Tyson bit off part of Holyfield's ear.
Tyson knows he's got him in big trouble. If he doesn't answer it, Richard Steele has moved in and has stopped the fight.
Number 8, Ray Rice. Although spousal abuse and battery have seemingly become all too common off the field of play in the NFL, the Ray Rice incident struck a chord with the public looking for less acceptance and more change. The case of Ray Rice became less about the abuse to his wife that was clearly evident on surveillance tapes and more about the lack of severity and the punishment handed down by the league. For the incident, Rice initially received a 2-game suspension by the league, causing public outcry for a punishment that was deemed to be too soft. The Ravens did their part by terminating Rice's contract, and the league was forced to suspend him indefinitely to appease the overwhelming majority of displeased fans. Number 7, Bill Belichick. Success breeds contempt, and there is plenty of contempt and jealousy that makes many in the NFL community want to hate Bill Belichick. Belichick remains one of the most controversial figures in the NFL, with his practices shrouded in secrecy and his less than informative press conferences. Nicknamed by detractors by Bill Belichick, Belichick has been caught cheating and will do whatever it takes to gain an advantage by abusing loosely interpreted rules in what was dubbed Spygate. Belichick was caught using an assistant to videotape the New York Jets' defensive signals. He was fined $500,000 by the league, while also drawing a $250,000 fine for the Patriots in the loss of their 2008 first-round draft pick. Recently, the Patriots were involved in the Deflategate controversy with improperly inflated footballs that many consider Belichick to be a part of. Unfair or not, he has developed a reputation for attracting controversy by consistently bending the rules. Number 6, Pete Rose. Pete Rose was an incredible baseball player. Number 5, Donald Sterling. Any sports controversy that for life. Number 4, Ben Johnson. The incredible sprinting battles between Carl Lewis and Ben Johnson were legendary in the 1980s. With both men capturing the public's fancy with their duel to be the world's fastest man, Johnson broke through with a victory over Lewis in 1985 and followed that up by winning the gold medal in both the World Championships at Rome in 1987 and the Seoul 1988 Olympic Games. Johnson set the world record for a 100-meter dash at both events, but failed a drug test following his unheard-of 9.79-second performance at the 1988 Olympic Games. Number 3, Lance Armstrong. There are 2 major reasons Lance Armstrong's controversy is near the top of this list. Armstrong was one of the most successful American cyclists of all time, whose podium appearances surprised many Europeans and Americans as well. He also happened to be a cancer survivor who used his success at battling cancer to fund the Live Strong Foundation and solidify his position of being living proof that people could overcome the disease. His legacy is as tainted as his blood was found to be, and his behavior after getting caught only rubs more salt in his wounds. Number 2, Jerry Sandusky. The sick and tragic molestation charges brought against Jerry Sandusky will forever be a reminder that many of our sports heroes are not immune to the sickness and improper conduct that inflicts so many people outside of sports. Sandusky used his position and success as an assistant coach at a major university, Penn State, to gain trust in the people and community around him. He then used his status in this bond to feed his sickness by molesting underprivileged children who he knew had very little voice. After getting caught and then convicted, Sandusky brought shame to the university and its longtime head coach, Joe Paterno, whose legacy as a head coach at Penn State will never be the same. Number 1, Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds takes the top spot on this list due to the fact that the controversy that surrounds him has affected so many other players to date. To this day, Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremonies are shrouded in controversy, mostly due to his role as a leader in the steroid scandal as well as for his tainted accomplishments. Bonds hit 762 home runs in his career and holds the record for 73 homers in a season, but has started to become better known for his ties to Balco after being the poster child for one of baseball's ugliest scandals ever, the steroid scandal. Bonds forever changed baseball and its reliance on stats with his power numbers and success that came from using performance-enhancing drugs. Thanks to his success using drugs, he has affected the legitimacy of the sport and the contributions of so many of its players. This ripple effect of controversy makes Bonds a top dog of this list. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.